Hello, hello, hello. Travel Talk with Heber Travel. This is Agent Mike Baxter. We're going to talk today all about Italy, reasons to visit it, where it is in the world, how to kind of get there, and of course the biggest sights and scenes that you can get in this beautiful country in Southern Europe. So there it is. Italy has the boot. It looks like a giant boot right there in Southern Europe. As far as getting to Italy from the United States, specifically the Northeast, you're going to try and fly out of primarily one of the bigger cities. Your Boston, your Montreal, any of the New York City airports, possibly Hartford. Your Albany, you're probably going to, have to go to another U.S. city to fly across over to, like a Rome or Milan or Naples or whatnot. So those are primarily the ways to get there. Of course, you can always take a transatlantic cruise. Generally, a lot of people like to take transatlantic cruises back from like Italy and that coming back over just in the fall time as they're getting ready to set up for their Caribbean stuff. So, and that's another opportunity to do that. And there is cruising, of course, in and around Italy. Um, eh, as far as going along the boot in and around that specific to Italy. So there's plenty of different ways of getting through there. The specific regions of Italy that most people want to visit or would look at, and of course, there's plenty to do in this wonderful, beautiful country. But Rome is probably like the hotspot. You have your Naples, your Venice, your Milan, and of course your Tuscany with the food and wine. And of course Sicily down at the bottom, the little island off of it. So there's plenty of ways of constructing a beautiful 1 week, 2 week, 10-day trip. That kind of idea. There's plenty of ways of doing that. You can go north to south, south. Start in Rome and then work your way south, or start in Rome and work your way north. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of different ways of doing it. So, um, you know, plan it out. Make sure you're kind of doing, pick your hot spots. Unless you're going to go for like a month, will you be able to see everything? It's kind of like going to like a Disney World. You can't do it all in 2 days. When you think about it, you're going to think about some of the bigger things to do in Rome, and that is, of course, the Roman Colosseum. Gorgeous picture of it lit up at nighttime. It's pretty neat. You also have the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's pretty neat idea that it does lean. So, and you see that a lot of people will have that picture where they're pushing it back over the Pantheon. Just look how beautiful architecture that is, in the columns and stuff. And then of course you have Vatican City. Um, you know, it's kind of own little part of the world. Look how big that is. So, funny. These are just a few of the many hot topics, hot places to go see. What I always tell any of our clients that are going to do that, we try and help them book ahead of time. If you're going to see those big touristy type places, and I absolutely recommend you do that because I mean this is history and culture, and it gives you like that feeling of what it was 500,000 years ago, because it's still there and it's beautiful, and the architecture, everything, it's gorgeous. Um, but if you were to go to the Coliseum and you want to see like where the lions were kept, you have to take escorted VIP tours. Of course, COVID throws everything off a little bit, so we're talking about this stuff, not post COVID, but when you're able to truly feel free to visit there again. We're just trying to get those ideas. I mean, hopefully that's coming sooner rather than later. But if you are going to that, as I said, you want to try and set up a VIP type, escorted VIP type tour. Don't cost that much more, but that's the way you can go down and see the lions cages, or see underneath the Coliseum. You can see different things, but you have to set them up ahead of time, and then you have to be there right at those times because they go right through them. So, but the vendors that we use for those escorted tours, they're so knowledgeable. I mean, people come back and just glow talking about what they've learned, and how they got to see and kind of feel and understand what was going on back then. So it's pretty neat. Reasons to visit. We're going to give you the top 4 reasons to visit. First one I would say is history. Just going off of what we just talked about, the architecture, the paintings, all that type of stuff, the way the cities were built, the Roman Empire. I mean, there's just so much when it comes to history. There's just so much to learn and enjoy. Another thing, of course, is food and wine. Um, you can get, food, the true Italian food, and the wine in the Tuscany region. Italy is known for its wine. That definitely is a fan favorite and a reason why a lot of our clients want to go to Italy. So definitely keep that in mind. Also shopping. Milan is like the clothing capital of Europe and competes pretty much with New York City when it comes to that type of thing. I can also say that I have a couple pieces of Italian marble in my house that my grandmother had purchased 40, 50 years ago, and had shipped back to here in the U.S. And they're still gorgeous, gorgeous pieces of Italian marble. So I mean, it's just another many things you can get there. And then of course, religion. We did talk about Vatican City, the Rome, the Pope, the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church. So you want to visit that, even if it is your religion or if it isn't. I mean, it's just a nice, really interesting thing to see, and it's one of the reasons a lot of our clients visit. So this quick little video, we just talked all about Italy. Of course, if you have any questions about it, if you want to possibly visit Italy in the future, feel free to reach out to us here at Hebrew Travel. I, of course, always want to help everybody we can to make those vacations they're the best they possibly can be. Our tagline is where your experience starts with ours. So you want to make sure you do use a travel advisor. It's highly advisable, especially as we're coming out of COVID, if we are actually coming out of it. But if you were planning to do this in the next year, maybe 2 years, plan it out and use a travel advisor. There's just so many different ways you can do that, and we can help you, of course. Of course, if you liked any part of this video, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, questions, pop them down below, and of course we'll check in on that. We're going to be doing these type of videos once a week or so, so keep looking out, and we'll be doing a whole bunch of different more stuff. So till next time, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Of course, it's all about Italy.